A piecewise function is actually a function that's broken up into pieces. So that means it could have 2 parts, 3 parts, but it's not a continuous, graph. It actually means that it's broken up into several parts, but it still passes the value of a function, or the function tests that says I can only get one value out for every input. Okay, so every time I put in an x, I will only get one y, unique y that comes out. So what we're looking at is things where possibly our graph might look like this. We sketch a little graph out really quick. And maybe our graph looks like this. It comes here, then all of a sudden this one now goes across the page. And then the next thing we know is it goes in a totally different direction. Okay, so it's broken up into pieces. So what we're going to look at is kind of an example of what that would look like. So I'm going to give you an equation, or set of equations, and we're going to see if we can sketch this out. So here's our piecewise. Y is equal to, and we're looking at a set now of 2 equations. Negative 3x plus 3 if x happens to be less than 2. Or it's going to be x squared if x happens to be greater than or equal to 2. So 2 is really where this graph is kind of changing parts. It's changing its look. So let's take a look at what that looks like when we go to graph this. Alright, so the first part of this, we're going to go ahead and graph that in yellow. And we're going to say our first one starts at the point 0, 3. So I'm going to put that over here so we can see what I'm doing. So our y-intercept is 0, 3. And our slope says I'm going to go down 3, positive direction 1. So I'm going to go down 3, positive direction 1. Down 3, positive direction 1. But it only exists up to that point. So for right there, we've got a line that's going to come through here. A straight line that's going to come through that up to that point. But once it gets to 2, we now have this new equation happening. We have this, the x squared. So it says whatever value I'm picking for x now is going to be squared. So at 2, well, 2 squared is actually 4. 3 squared actually puts us at 9. And what happens is we start following this little curve that basically goes up, because at 4 we're way up here at 16. It's kind of hard to tell on this, but really what's happening is we're following this parabolic curve. So this is not really a straight line anymore. This is actually going to be a curved line that's actually going to continue for the rest of this graph from 2. So we end up with this kind of broken looking graph, but it is really a function just broken up into pieces.